Pep, thanks so much for joining us today. First of all, huge congratulations on reaching yet another final. Just how much are you enjoying and what are you enjoying about this season in particular?
Well, it's not a flat season. There are bumpings, good and ones, but it's normally defined today the seasons.
Up next, Anfield at the weekend. You don't have much of a chance to reflect on that before straight to the next game. I wanted to go at this more from a tactical viewpoint because I think when you watch Liverpool and Manchester City over the years, they've always brought some of the most interesting tactical battles. If we go back to your early days, Klopp, Guardiola, that battle, what do you remember from those early matches facing some of those Liverpool sides?
So tough, so difficult for both sides, and it was so tight seasons and competitions, but I would say really good in many things, and I think both teams helped to the Premier League be a better place. So that I don't have any doubt. So both were proactive goals, try to make the fans and the football, enjoyable, and I think we did it.
What was it tactically that made them really good matchups when you think about how those teams
played? We could stay 2 hours talking, many things happened. So everyone has his own style. But we're reflecting that both teams, you remember, Firmino, Salah, Mané, and Henderson's and Fabinho's, and the prime from Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk's, Kevin's and David Silva's and Fernandinho's and Agüero's, and have been companies and have been an unbelievable generation of players on both sides and making incredible teams.
I was looking back at some of the results, the 5-0 in 2017 and then the 4-3 when Liverpool won in 2018, and it felt like the styles really summed up, particularly in those early days of you playing obviously the more possession based and the very full throttle and the intensity. Do you think that's what made the battles so good, that you were bringing together these different styles?
Yeah, in a traditional game and everything quick, they destroy us, and you cannot bring a game in our rhythm. We could be more closer to win, but it was not easy because his high pressing, his structure to defend was unbelievable. It was really good, and that's why define football. There is no one system. There's no way. That is the best way to do it. Because tomorrow you will not win that way. It's just what you believe, and football is nice because there are different styles, different ways to approach, always with the intention to win. And that's why football is so rich, so open, so entertaining, because it's not all the time the same, way. And that is so nice.
If we bring it up to the modern day, a lot of people talk now about yours and Arteta's relationship and the kind of rivalry that's forming between the two teams. Does it feel like that's the new dynamic? It was Manchester City, Liverpool, now it's Man City and Arsenal.
Well, no matter, there are rivalries that always are there. Liverpool United City, or Spurs against Arsenal, or the local derbies. It happened, and after that, the rivalries we are in the top. So we have been believable with both of us. We were the two race horses, to win the Premier Leagues, and now Arsenal in the last years have been involved there, and of course the rivalry can be there. Important is try to be all the time there, to be part of that race.
And you're still very much in that race this season.
14 games to play. Yeah, many things going to happen.
Arteta was talking recently about this season in particular and the tactics, and he said the space on the pitch just isn't there anymore. He said any game plans from 2 or 3 years ago, just throw them in the bin. It doesn't make sense anymore. Would you agree with that?
Some.
Some?
Yeah.
What parts do you agree with?
The spaces are there.
It isn't there?
As there, yeah.
They are there, but in a different way, would you say?
But they're definitely more marking, they're more aggressive. Before it was more zonal, they were more, but if you do the process well, always the spaces are there.
So you said that it used to be more zonal and now it's more man marking. How does that change how you have to think about the game?
No, it's through the years. So years ago, 18s or 17s, it's a lot man markings, and after Arrigo Sacchi appeared in the world football and change a revolutionary and make everyone 4'2" or 4'1", zonal marking, the spaces. And after that was a mix, the places that were man marking, after seeing those blocks, and today the influence in the set pieces became is really important. When before in the early ages when I started, I remember nobody pay attention. So, and that is a process that the people, is going to change another way. That's the history of football. You know, false nine, and after no false nine, now it's 2 strikers, and so football evolves. It depends on your quality, especially your feelings as a manager. You want to do your team play, and everything is fine, especially for the teams they win, right? And then they win, you say, oh, that is the future. That is. I remember when you play World Cups on European national teams, and the team who wins the World Cup, as the football has to play like win Germany, or Italy had to play like Italy. So always you want to be copy-paste for the last team wins. That is a big mistake. Yeah, win, but tomorrow will not win, because nobody wins all the time. So only I can do is the way you believe the best way to play, or the best way to win games with you is what you have to do.
So it has to be the constant evolution football runs in the
absolutely.
cycles.
Otherwise it will be boring. Imagine play right now the same football like 17th, 80s and 19th. So it's changing, because the methodology is changing. The care of the players are unbelievable. We have already 7 doctors when you have 1. We have I don't know how many physiotherapists before you have 1, and the people is more physically strong and faster and quicker. And by the end the pitch is the same. If you play better, you have more chance to win.
You've said before you won't change your beliefs, and there's been a lot of talk, hasn't there, this season about Manchester City being more transitional and more direct. But would you say that the basis is still the exact same? You're just exploiting that space more because of what you mentioned there, the man-to-man marking?
Listen, when a team plays man marking, that means is man marking is up of the pitch, and you break that line, you have to attack quick.
So it's just the response to what's happening in the league at the
absolutely,
moment.
you have to respond to the way they defend. If they play high, you have to attack quicker. If they defend block lower, you have to defend more patient. So,
is this the biggest shift you've seen in your time in the Premier League, do you think?
I would say yeah. For the first seasons, man marking was not much. Aggressive always have been in the Premier League, yeah. But yeah, most of the teams now have courage to go for you and do it. But always there are antidote for that, always. Any system has its antidote. They are not unbeatable. Because even the system have the human beings has a problem in their minds, and in the football players, and problems with the managers maybe, and they are not as stable that was maybe a month ago. So every time shift, the same player that 4 years ago is not the same right now, in a good, in a bad way. So that's why that players make an influence in the performance of the team. So that's why it's not so simple that they play man marking or deep, everything is one way or the other way. No, many things change.
So a lot of it is dependent on how they defend. You said recently, tell me how my opponent is going to defend and I'll decide how I'm going to attack. So is that more true this season than ever? You're having to respond to those challenges?
No, the way they're going to attack is the way to defend, of course, a little bit, and your quality of your teams, the shape you're going to attack. But after, if you dribble one opponent, it's the system. If you don't dribble, the system is over. So at the end, defense, if the cross is good, the system is good, and the cross is bad, you have to change. So, and of course, the way to defend, you can do man marking. It depends how they move, and it's zone marking. It depends, in your position.
Has it changed the type of players that you want to go for, that you want to bring into your team, particularly in terms of ball carriers?
I love the team I have, because the club decide to bring that players. So I give my opinion, but at the end it's the club who decide how to bring the players. All have been like that.
But do you think, for example, how we look at a good winger nowadays is different to maybe a few years or a few seasons ago?
But the wingers, the wingers normally is fast, dribbles and score goals in the far post, and maybe the physicality of the wingers are stronger.
So it's more physical now.
But I don't know, but with Leroy Sané, to put an example, this type of wingers, there are more of that right now, I would say.
And are you enjoying the challenge? Are you enjoying the new challenges that every year this league brings? Because you're such an established manager, aren't you? You've won everything in the game. Is this what keeps you going and keeps you ticking? Yeah,
I like still to be here. I like the challenge to challenge the opponents and try to arrive in the last stages being the best. Yeah, I like it.
Those are things that keep you up at night, thinking about the solutions and how different teams
are that's why I am here. We are here. I don't know the other managers, speak for myself. But of course, if one opponent faces this kind of things, what can we do to do it? Yeah, definitely.
I spoke to Harlan recently about his favourite Premier League goals, and he said he points out the one Brighton when Ederson put the ball straight in. It was really direct. And he said actually about that, not the perfect Pep goal, but it shows how Pep can adapt. Would you agree with that?
But it's the example where I say it, Brighton was man-to-man in that moment, right? And we have the quality of the Ederson for the long passes, why you cannot do it? If you don't have Ederson, maybe you cannot do it. If you don't have Erling, you cannot do it. So it depends. If the opponents depend 5 in the back in the bench, you don't have to do it. So at the end, it's not about, you know, we have to adapt the quality of the players and the example I said to you right now, and especially how the opponents defend.
Do you like seeing that kind of goal? Or you don't really care as long as the ball goes in
These
the back
goals?
of the net? Yeah.
No, of course I like it.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
But it feels like a positive shift then for this year in particular. You're enjoying
No, I not agree with you.
No?
No, because we did it with Aguero against Huddersfield years ago. The ball against Huddersfield for Ederson with Aguero. And it's the same. When the moment I say, oh, the ball possession, slow, boring games, and the other one, always you can do it because there are moments. There are moments in the when they defend that you can do it.
So you can learn about what's coming next in football by looking back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, listen, the vintage things are always the best.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.